Now, I'm married. You know, my wife, she often turns to me and she says, just like that. Yeah. And then she'll often say, "Ooh, Richard, you men, you never learn." Well, if anybody says that to you, then you need to listen to my story, because it's a story that shows, oh yes, a man, he can learn. And the story is this. Once upon a time, there was a man who was a farmer. And that meant he lived in a, well, you know, a farmhouse. Yes, but he didn't live in an English farmhouse, and he didn't live in a German farmhouse. No. You see, this man, he lived way, way, way up in the north, in Norway. So, of course, yeah, he lived in a Norwegian farmhouse. You know how they have them there? Small house built against the side of a hill with a flat roof and grass growing on top. One of those. Now, this man, every day, he'd get up, put on his big boots, and he'd go out into the fields and he'd do his man's work all day long. And at the end of the day, well, he'd come back home to his small Norwegian farmhouse built against the side of the hill with a flat roof and the grass growing on top. He'd open the door, he'd sit down, and he would start shouting at his wife. "Hey, missus! Where's my dinner here? Where's my beer? Where are my slippers? Why isn't everything ready? What have you been doing all day?" "What have I been doing all day?" "Oh, I've been doing nothing. Just the woman's work." "Well, that's what I mean. Why isn't everything ready? I want my dinner now." Always the same. One evening, she got so fed up with this, she said, Right, woman's work, you think woman's work's nothing. Well, I tell you what we'll do. Tomorrow, we'll change places. I'll do the man's work, you can stay home and look after the woman's work. See how you get on." Well, the man thought a bit. Easy day at home. That'd be all right. All right, that's what we'll do. And then that is what they did. The next morning, she got up, she put on the big boots, and he, well, she went off to do the man's work. He stayed at home to look after that little bit of woman's work. Well, he started off, I said, what does she do? It's always nice when she's made some fresh butter to put on the potatoes for dinner. I think we'll do that first. I'll get that done, out of the way, and then I can really take it easy and have a bit of a holiday. So, in the kitchen, he got the butter churn, you know the where you put the cream to churn it into butter. He poured some of the cream into the butter churn, and he was there, churning away, like this, when he noticed his eyes being pulled around the kitchen until he saw a big barrel of new beer. I thought, he's a bit of a holiday after all. So, he took a hammer and he took a tap and he went over to the barrel to tap the barrel to get some beer. Well, he'd just put in the last when he heard it. There. The pig had come through the open door and was down with its snout in the butter churn, drinking up the cream. Oh, he was so angry. He ran across the kitchen. He gave that pig such a kick that the pig flew against the wall and lay there, dead. But he was angry. He waved his hammer at the pig. He waved a tap at the pig. The hammer? The tap? Too late. The last of the beer was going gluck, 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 gluck all over the kitchen floor. Not very good start to the woman's work, but I'll clear it up later. I've got to get on with that cream. So he took the last of the cream, poured that into the churn and started churning again. Like this. But being a man, he started thinking. Cream, milk, cow, wife. Cow, wife. That's part of the woman's work, yeah. She always takes the cow to eat the grass in the field. Oh, I'd better do that now. He was just going to leave the butter churn there and run across the farmyard to the cow when he looked down at it. No, if I leave that there, who knows what's going to happen next. But then, being a man, he had a clever idea. Oh, I know what I'll do. To make sure nothing happens, I'll take the butter churn with me. So he got his old rucksack, put the churn into the rucksack, put the rucksack on his back, and off he walked across the farmyard to get to the cow. He was walking across the farmyard when he walked by the well. You know the well, the big hole where there's the water at the bottom? Oh, the well. Yeah, that's part of the woman's work. She always takes a bucket of water to the cow. I better do that now. So he took the bucket on the long rope, let it down into the well. It filled with water, and he wound it up. Up came the bucket of water. He leant down to get the bucket. He'd forgotten the cream in his rucksack. Of course, all that cream, it shot down the well, over the farmyard. Oh, he thought it's very good. Clear it up later, but got to get that cow to eat the grass in the field, and the field is a long way away. But then, being a man, clever idea. Wait a minute, it's true. The grass in the field is a long way away, but there is some grass right here. And he turned around and he looked at the small Norwegian farmhouse built against the side of the hill with the flat roof and the grass growing on. He said, I know what I'll do. I'll get a plank of wood, make a bridge from the hillside onto the roof. Then the cow can go over there and she'll eat all the grass she wants. So that is what she did. Put a plank of wood as a bridge from the hill onto the roof, got hold of the cow, dragged the cow up the hillside, and then pushed her over the bridge onto the roof. And there she was, eating the grass. So that was all right. No, he wasn't. Because he looked at that cow and thought, oh, she's a silly old cow. If I leave her here, she'll fall off. But then, being a man, clever idea, I know what I'll do. I'll take the rope from the bucket in the well and I'll tie one end round the cow's neck and then I've got the other end and everything's all right. So that's what he did. One end round the cow's neck, holding the other. There she was, eating the grass. So that was all right. No, he wasn't. Because he was up here on the roof. There was still that little bit of woman's work to do in the kitchen. Man, clever idea. Wait a minute. It's a long rope. I know what I'll do. I'll put it down the chimney and then I can hold it down in the kitchen and I know everything's all right with the cow. So that is what he did. Put the rope down the kitchen chimney. Got the cow right in the middle of the roof. Said, don't move! Ran as quickly as he could over the bridge down the hill. Grabbed the rope in the kitchen. So that was all right. No, he wasn't. Because he got his hands full of rope and there was still that little bit of woman's work to do. But clever idea, wait a minute. As long as I've got the rope, I know everything's all right with the cow. But I don't need to hold it. I'll tie it round my leg and then I got my hands free to do the work. So that is what he did. There was the cow on the roof, rope round her neck, down the chimney, all the way across the kitchen floor to his leg. Well, there isn't any more cream, so we'll have to have potatoes without butter today. Well, better put the pot of water to get hot for the potatoes. So he put a pot of water over the fire to get hot, went across to the other end of the kitchen, picked up the sack of potatoes. When it happened, the cow fell off the roof. The rope going down the chimney across the kitchen floor. That rope moved like lightning. Poor farmer was dragged across the kitchen floor, feet first, and up the chimney until he stuck there, feet up, looking down into a pot of hot water. Now, his wife, she'd actually long finished with the man's work. She thought she'd better come down to see how her husband was getting on. When she came to the house, the first thing she saw was a cow hanging by her neck from the roof. Well, what do you do when you see a cow hanging by her neck from a rope? You cut the rope, don't you? And that's what she did. She cut the rope. The rope was no longer pulling him up. In the chimney, down he went, head first into the pot of hot water. She walked across the farmyard, opened the door, and the first words she said were, "Woman's work. Cow hanging by her neck from the roof. Very good woman's work. Cream all over the farmyard, down the well. Pig lying dead by the wall. Beer flooding the floor. And you, feet up, head down in a pot of hot water. That is woman's work too, I suppose." And the next day, he got up, put on his big boots. He went and he did his man's work all day long. And when he came home, oh yes, he had learnt not to say a word about woman's work. A story which shows we men can learn.